You like this, huh? You see this? You like this. You don't know what you're looking, but you keep looking because you like it. You don't know how to take it, huh? If I had bigger bulge in my pants, you look further. How you doing, guys? Welcome back to another exoticcarhacks.com video. My videographer is like fucking dying right now, which is hilarious. I don't even know why I did that. Anyways, super bored, but back here with another awesome review of my latest project car, Project Adamus, the new Lamborghini Huracan. And you've seen many people on YouTube get theirs. You've seen them talk that it is the best Lamborghini they've ever had, owned, or seen. And yet, I think it is somewhat of a piece of shit. And we're going to talk about why. So, we're going to talk about why in this awesome video and learn a little bit about it. For all of you that said that I was an idiot for buying that Performante in that other video that had 500,000 views thanks to the trolls that just joined us, and that it would never sell. How could I ever sell a car? Well, the car did sell. Thank you guys for bringing so much attention to it. And it sold for a significant profit, which I'm going to talk about in my next video. But for now, we're here to talk about the replacement to that Lamborghini, as I always have one Lamborghini at least in my garage at any given time. And this year, it is the 2015 Lamborghini Huracan in this incredible matte silver located right behind me on yellow calipers. That is right, I actually bought a car that is matte. Why? Because I think it's pretty rare, it's pretty unique, and I've never seen another one like this. And I like doing unique things. And yes, I did buy an extremely low deal, no different than the Performante, which we're going to talk about again in another video, for insiders, people who are not cheap and willing to spend some money to learn something in life. So if you're one of those people, make sure you join our insider somewhere here. I don't know where the fuck they put these boxes, but you can join it, you can learn it, and learn the strategy we teach at exoticcarhacks.com. But now, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this car and why I'm not a big fan like many other people. I have a good friend, Parker, who just got his from vehicle version. I'm sure many of you see it. He loves it to death. He thinks it's extremely fast, extremely incredible. And for me, it is also very fast. I do agree with that point. So, I think that Parker is absolutely accurate. The car is incredible when it comes to performance. It is fast, it is extremely good handling, and it shifts extremely fast thanks to the dual clutch technology that they now have in it. It actually works, and it works like a normal fast car should. And that is the problem, my friends. The problem is that the Lamborghini Huracan, while I believe is iconic in the sense of performance for Lamborghini, being one of the fastest Lamborghinis they've ever made and best performing Lamborghinis they've ever made, I do believe in its unauthentic approach to Lamborghini. You see, for me, for decades, Lamborghini has always been about raw performance, beauty, power, and the idea that just the Lamborghini was supposed to be a car that gave you a jet fighter experience and something unique and different. And while this Lamborghini, while it does do the jet fighter piss, fast performance, it just doesn't give you that raw feeling. It drives very much like a very fast Porsche, except it doesn't do that as well as the Porsche either, because the Porsche did that even better. So it really has a loss of identity, if you ask me, probably because it's the first model year it's out, maybe because it's just fairly new for Lamborghini and they're going to continue tweaking it to get there. But there are a lot of problems with this car. And unfortunately, actually I did say unfortunately, you're not going to believe this, reliability isn't one of them. That's right, like it's actually fairly reliable. It doesn't break down. The clutch always works, the transmission works, the radio works, everything works very well. But it just doesn't make sense. First off, let's look at the design. It's fairly boring. What I mean by that is, while it's very aggressive in nature, it just looks like a Porsche, not a Lamborghini. It doesn't have that edgy Lamborghini feel that we're used to seeing with the LP cars, with the old LP640, LP570, or even with the Aventador, which has a much edgier look. And while it is very pretty, I'll give you that, especially if you're not in the car space and don't see one every day, then you definitely would notice one on the road. But it doesn't have the Lamborghini feel again. On the performance side, while it's very fast again, it just doesn't have that raw feeling. It doesn't have that kick you in the seat, like gear after gear, because it's almost too smooth. And I will tell you, though, that the performance is improved over other cars, but the feeling of the performance really isn't until you completely open it in race mode. And the problem is that there isn't many places you can be in race mode. And with my old car, I was able to do that. In my old Performante, I was able to do that anywhere, any gear. It just felt like you were in a jet fighter at all times. With this car, it just doesn't. Now, the other part that's actually fairly interesting and good about this car is the incredible interior. Let me tell you what I mean by that. It is a piece of shit, no different than previous pieces of shit in their first generations. Everything is plastic. Like, in other words, there's no carbon option from the factory. And before Performante has a full carbon interior, This car doesn't, while it costs so much more money. And this is where the biggest confusion is. The interior is completely plastic, the seats are very basic leather, and the posture of everything coming together feels like a Ford Focus with a lot of color. But I'll take you to that next level where let's understand why I'm so upset about this interior. You can buy an Audi R8 V10 Plus, which is essentially the exact same car as this Huracan sitting behind me. In my opinion, which is more authentic to the R8 lineup and really looks like an R8 as it should, it looks extremely exotic, has incredible seats, amazing carbon fiber inside out, and after all of that, has pretty much the exact same everything that this car has under the hood and suspension. Now, why is this the exact same thing? When we took this car apart, because we've installed modifications on it, we actually noticed that all the parts under, including the suspension, subframe, and everything, have Audi stickers on them. Meaning that this is no different than the Audi R8 V10 Plus. Whichever one came first doesn't fucking matter. They're using the R8 V10 Plus parts in this, or vice versa, whichever way you want to look at it. But this is an Audi. Now the question remains, why would a car that has less carbon, same performance, a weaker design, and really shitty electronics compared to the R8 cost $100,000 more? That doesn't make any sense. And so comes the idea that I think with this particular car, Lamborghini is just milking this whole thought process of knowing they own a Lamborghini and that Lamborghini is just going to be worth more. But you're not getting the value. And if you are in the car business, or if you understand cars, or have been a car enthusiast like me, or own exotic cars, then you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say it's just overpaying. Like, we know that some British cars come out of the factory with 300K stickers, they immediately depreciate 100K. We know they're not worth the 300K stickers. They're just all of that markup and profit margin, which goes against everything we teach at Exotic Car Hacks. And this is also why these cars have depreciated almost 100 grand right off the top, right out of the factory, and so many of them are for sale. I think while the experience is incredible from a driving standpoint, while it is an improvement over previous Lamborghinis when it comes to driving, as far as the comfort is we're talking about comfort, it's just not as exciting to drive as some of these other Lamborghinis when it comes to experience. It's also not as problematic, which is actually a problem, even though it's technically a solution for Lamborghini. Meaning, while it's great that it doesn't break down, it also doesn't give you this feeling of living at the edge. Its design, in my opinion, is futuristic, but yet still far behind what it should be for a Lamborghini. Its concept, when it comes to quality of built and craftsmanship, is behind the R8 V10 Plus, which cost almost $100,000 less. So again, the question begs, what is so awesome about this car? Well, there is definitely awesomeness when it comes to performance, but it's not awesome as to the dollar level that the performance comes with. I think that if I was to choose between this car and my 911 Turbo S cab, I would pick a 911 991 Turbo S cab any day of the week over this car. And so it kind of brings me to my conclusion that while I think the Huracan is an incredible car all around, as in very usable and versatile, which is why I'm using it as a daily driver, it is still a little bit away from what Lamborghini really was meant to be as a car. Now, that said, I also think it is incredible to see the technology platform that Lamborghini will be able to build upon starting from such a new baseline. So exciting things to come from Lamborghini, not the greatest of cars I've ever driven, both from an experience standpoint or any other standpoints to be exact, and a little bit overpriced when you look at what they cost new compared to its, I would say, step-sister, which is the Audi R8 V10 Plus, which is ultimately the same car with bigger tits, and just looks so much better, if you ask me, and as a car, it's just better in every way. And so, you know, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I know I'm going to get a lot of dislikes for this, which is okay. I don't mind the thumbs down. You know, I mean, it makes me kind of like not know how to feel at that moment when you're pressing the thumbs down button. So, but I still love you. It's okay. For those of you that do like unbiased, honest reviews about shit, well, there you have it. The Huracan's exceptional, just not exceptional enough to me to wear the Lamborghini badge. So I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Lamborghini Huracan, and I will catch you next time on another ExoticCarHacks.com review. Make sure you become an insider and actually subscribe or watch my webinar to understand how people can buy, trade, and sell exotic cars for fun and profit. No, it's not a magic carpet formula. I know I look like Aladdin, but I don't have a monkey on my side. It isn't magic carpet shit. It's real. It's doable. Your neighbors are probably doing it. You're looking at them as the guy is probably some rich oil guy from Saudi Arabia, and it would be more fun to know that, you know, he is that, so you don't have to work for your life or anything else. But in reality, is people in life can't afford these cars. They're affordable. The cost of ownership is down. You can watch the webinar, learn more, sign up to become an insider. It's really not that much money. and learn how to actually buy, trade, and flip exotic cars for fun and profit. We'll catch you next time on another review.